Ba-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got troubles. Well, I got them too. Oh man, it's a good thing I don't gotta poo. You got a friend in me. Okay, everybody. Welcome. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for stopping by and watching. Today we are, for Tier List Tuesday, doing Pixar movies. So today we've got a pretty standard list of SABCD. No F tier because Pixar is Pixar, and they're fantastic. Thank you to Rick Talk for following me a few hours ago. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Love you. Kisses. And with that, let's get into it. All right. Bug's Life is first, and Bug's Life is decent. It's a good movie. I think it's enjoyable. It's not as memorable and iconic and emotional as other Pixar movies, but it's enjoyable, and there's nothing really to complain about. So, for being, average and standard, we're gonna put Bug's Life in B tier. B for Bug's Life. There you go. B for Bug's Life. All right. Next up is Brave, and not a whole lot of people enjoyed Brave. I personally did. I don't know if it's because they're Scottish or what, but I think it's enjoyable. I think it's got funny parts, and I think it's really rewatchable, and I really enjoy it. So we're gonna put Brave in A tier. It is at the bottom of A tier, so everything in A tier will go before that, but Brave is going in A tier. So, all right. Next is Cars 2. Okay, Cars 2. Oh, Cars 2 is probably the worst Pixar movie out of all of them. I would I would argue it's it just focuses on Mater, like it should be Mater 1. Like that's what it should be called, Mater. It's not Cars 2, it's Mater cuz the entire movie is a focus on him, and just this focus on everyone thinks Mater is a joke and he's stupid, but he's got to prove himself to be not dumb and becomes this silly agent and is definitely the worst out of the trio, I would say. So Cars 2 going in D tier. All right. Hmm. Why are these in order? I don't like that. Some of them are. Okay, all right. Okay, Cars 3. Cars 3 is better. Better than Cars 2. Um, I don't know. Like, I wish that they focused on the original cast more, but instead, it's instead it focuses on this new chick, this new car, this new villain, I guess. Which I mean, is not really a villain. He's just a dick. But that's, I mean, in a movie like Cars, you don't really have villains except for the second one. Okay. But I think it was okay. And so we're gonna put it in B tier, bottom of B tier. All right. Cars 1 was pretty iconic. Yeah. Cars 1 was fantastic. Good story, good character development, good jokes. I think it was pretty solid. I don't think it is as perfect as some other movies, so we're gonna put Cars 1 in A tier, but really solid movie. And we're gonna take a quick beverage break. Today's stream brought to you by Mountain Dew, because without it, I would have to pee less and I would be more hydrated. All right, moving on to Coco. Now, Coco was a beautiful movie. The artwork was fantastic. Uh, Good story. Um, it had a nice twist to it, a good enough twist. Um, Fun characters, humor not so much there, but that's okay because it wasn't entirely the focus. And the ending, oh my gosh, the ending is just so good with his great grandma. That's his great grandma, right? Yeah, just made anyone cry, really. So I'm getting choked up just talking about it. All right, Coco is S tier. All right, so Finding Dory. Why is it before Finding Nemo? It's weird. Anyways, we'll do Finding Nemo first. All right, Finding Nemo is a really solid movie. Really good story. Father trying to find his son. Has good jokes. And there's not really anything to complain about. I don't think. I just I don't know. It's you know what? Finding Nemo is going in S tier. Yeah, I was gonna put it A tier, but I don't have anything to complain about this movie, so it's yeah, S tier. All right. Finding Dory. Um, Okay, I think the story is like a little random, a little thrown together, a little sporadic. Uh, it would have been nice to see more original characters be in the movie, and gosh, I mean the whole thing is like at this aquarium, Dory trying to find her parents. Like I don't know, it was fine, but that's all it was. It was fine. So Finding Dory is going in a B tier. All right, it's average. It was okay. All right. Next up is Incredibles 2. Okay. Uh this is another case where the movie just should have been named something different. And in this case, it should have just been named Mrs. Incredible because it has such a focus on her. While everyone kind of just like sits on the sidelines. The twist villain sucked, and wasn't that good of a story, honestly. I feel like the conflict in the first one was just so much better. It's just such a better story. Hey, what's up, Donovan? Welcome to the stream. And I did put chat on the stream now, so everyone can see on YouTube. So welcome. We're just talking about Incredibles 2. So it was like I don't know, like it wasn't terrible, but it was not good. So Incredibles 2 gonna go to C tier. Alright. Yeah, the first Incredibles is definitely better. Spoiler, as you will see. Alright. Um Next, Inside Out. Inside Out was such a good movie. Like I think that people didn't really know what to expect from this movie, but it was just like so like not deep, but like had so many layers to it and was very conceptual. That's what I was looking for. It's very conceptual, really emotional, and the very end is just so good when Joy realizes that the other emotions are just as important. Um, the death of Bing Bong, like he dies, right? Is man, that sucked. That was rough. And just a really fun movie. I think the humor was brilliant. The story was good. The concept was very interesting. So Inside Out is going into S tier and had a lot of adult parts to it in the sense of very mature and deep, uh, deeper meaning than just a kids movie, which I think Pixar is just starting to do a really good job at. So next up, Monsters Inc. Okay, Monsters Inc. Was really enjoyable, really solid movie. Really enjoy the characters. The concept is really fun. How they're like kind of like essentially in the upside down from Stranger Things, you know, like just a parallel dimension just right next to ours, just chilling. And Boo is great. Really good story. Um, yeah, it's iconic, but in terms of perfect films, I don't think it's quite up there. So I'm gonna put Monsters Inc. in A tier. Cars is above Brave. Brave is at the bottom of A tier. So yeah, okay, I think yeah. All right. Next up is Monsters University, which was an okay sequel to. Oh, well, I guess it's a prequel, right? Uh, I don't guess. I know it definitely is. It was fun to see the origin story of Sully and Mike meeting. The story is fun. The ending is okay. The humor was not the best, but it was enjoyable. It wasn't anything special, but it was enjoyable. Therefore, Monsters University going in B tier, right under its counterpart. All right. Onward. Okay. I think people had mixed feelings about Onward. I I personally really enjoyed it. I think I really liked the D&D theme just because I'm into D&D, so there's that I'm a little biased on. The casting, the voices are brilliant with Chris Pratt and Tom Holland. Beautiful men. The story's good. It's interesting in this world of magical creatures, essentially, in a modern world. It's a nice take. And the ending is just really good. How it's kind of a twist, like it's sad but happy, you know. Like the main character, Tom Holland, he doesn't actually get to meet his dad, which is really sad, but it's okay because he realizes that his older brother has been like a father figure his entire life, and they are now bonded, and is one of the better like emotional endings of the Pixar movies. So yeah, I think it was a solid movie. So Onward is gonna go in A tier above Brave. Okay. I guess my volume was a little quiet. Is that better? That's weird. Okay. Hopefully that's better. And hopefully YouTube can hear me. I'll have to see that later. Anyways. Okay. Okay. Alright, Donovan says that's a lot better. Should I just eat my mic? I can do that. Okay. Next is Ratatouille. Another solid movie. I don't think it's S. Definitely better than B. So it is going in A. Um, fun concept, good setting, and artistically really nice. So Ratatouille is gonna go in A tier. Yeah, but solid movie. All right. Okay, The Good Dinosaur. All right. Let's talk about The Good Dinosaur and how nothing happened in this movie whatsoever. The main character Arlo trades his dad's life for courage. Essentially, that's literally the only two things that happened. His dad died, and he gains courage. His one friend that he meets goes off with humans. So yeah, I mean, I guess the T Rexes are his friends now, but they're never gonna see each other again. Jokes were there were no jokes. It was a pretty movie. The artwork was great, and the landscapes were crazy nice. But like the whole thing in the beginning with his dad and this whole Mufasa scene, where his this guy's son is in this uh, canyon and it's a life or death situation. He goes in, saves him, but dies in the process. Like, was just kind of just feel like so avoidable and so consequential. So yeah, like just nothing happened in this movie. So yeah, Good Dinosaur is gonna go to D tier. I don't know what is worse, Cars 2 or Good Dinosaur. We'll stick with that right now. So, all right. Now, let's flip gears. The Incredibles. Okay. Great main characters, great story, great villain, good humor, perfect movie. All right. S tier. Do we need to talk about that anymore? Probably not. Everyone will agree with me on that, I think. Anyways, next up, Toy Story 2. This might be my favorite Pixar movie. It might be. I loved it as a kid, so it was my favorite as a kid. So yeah. Um, Toy Story 2, I think, is really. Is it better than the first one? I think it might be. I love Pete, Jesse, and Bullseye. The should I just I should just go in order. Okay. We're gonna start with the first Toy Story, which is like one of their first animated movies. And it was really good. I feel like some of the other ones are better, but just really solid movie. Really good characters. Yeah, Donovan agrees with me on The Incredibles. Toy Story, really good characters, good story. Still figuring out the animation process, but it is still like such like one of the best Disney movies slash Pixar, and one of the best series of Disney. So Toy Story is gonna go to the top of A tier. Um, and now back to Toy Story 2. Uh, I really enjoy the story a little bit more than Toy Story 1. I like the additional characters, how it's a perfect balance of new ones and uh, old ones. It has all the old ones in it, which is great. So Toy Story 2, S tier. Really great. Okay, now we go to Toy Story 3. All right. I have a few things to say about Toy Story 3. Um, so story-wise, it's what we all thought about, at least at one point. What happens when Andy grows up? What happens to his toys? Does he keep them and give them to his son? Or what happens? And uh, so it's great that they answer this question. The the story of the daycare is great. Um, yeah, good villains, good solid villains actually. Lotso is terrible, but like in a good way, you know. And just the ending is just perfect. The ending is perfection. Like Andy seeing Bonnie, this little kid who loves toys, knows that they will be, you know, better off in the hands of a child who will play with them instead of, an adult going off to college, sitting in, a box. And like how he individually introduces all of them to Bonnie and like gets to Woody and like you can see his attachment to Woody still like that gets to me, man, you know? It's nice. And but and event like he's super reluctant to give Woody to her. Like he wasn't planning on it, but then eventually he does, and uh he plays with all of them for the last time, and then they're all on the porch, and like so long partner, and it ending there is just so good, just the perfect close to a trilogy, you know. It really is a tearjerker, Donovan. My mother cries every time she sees this movie because she thinks of me with my toys. And I was a big, like, player of toys as a kid. How would you say that? Anyways, so yeah, I relate to this movie a lot. So Toy Story 3 S tier, I think, yeah, like arguably the best Pixar movie. I think that's up there for discussion, for debate. Yeah, that's gonna go there. Okay. Anyways, all right. So then we get to Toy Story 4. And I think the fact that Toy Story 4 exists is a complete insult to the Toy Story series because number 3 was such a perfect ending. They should have stopped. They should have stopped right there and never touched the series ever again. But they wanted more money, and so they made this. And the movie itself is fine. Like, it's enjoyable. I like Woody finding Bo is great, but uh, then he leaves, you know? Thank you, Donovan. Like he stays behind from all of his friends and never sees him again? Like, and Bonnie, this piece of crap little girl, giving up, like forgetting about Woody, not even caring about him after like he was Andy's like most cherished belonging, and she just like doesn't even care. Like this movie ruined Bonnie for me. Like I hold a grudge against this little girl for throwing Woody away, which is ridiculous, but it's true. And yeah, so the movie itself was fine, but the fact that it exists is a complete insult to the series and Disney. Toy Story 4 is gonna go into C tier. Okay, I'm done with the rant. I'm heated. I get heated about Toy Story 4. Okay. Next is Up, and we are going to go up in the tier list with this movie. You see what I did? You like that? Okay. The opening of Up is just like so strong. Like so good, and shows how much like images and a video can portray emotion and a story without a single word said, you know? Um and uh, like it plays through the life of what's his name? Mr. Fredrickson. Um it plays through his whole life with Ellie, uh and is so good, and that's only like the first 5 minutes, and then you have the rest of the movie. You have a whole rest of the movie, a whole movie on top of that. You know, Player Jackson is stupid. Um, it's a quirky story, um, but uh, it's really great. Russell finally gets like a father figure slash grandpa figure because his dad isn't really around. The characters are fun and cute. Up is S tier for me. Yeah, like I don't see what's bad about Up. I think it's great. Okay, do we want to discuss Up more, or should we move on? Okay. Wally was fine. Wally was fun. It was cute. Good main character. Makes me depressed for the fate of humanity because we're definitely headed in that direction. No, you. Why, Rakshasta? Also, I think you meant to spell like that. Yeah. Um. Anyways, Wally was okay. It was enjoyable. Nothing amazing. Wasn't terrible. So we're gonna stick Wally in B tier. Rap movie S tier. Rap movie. Toy Story bad. Okay, who the heck are you? Frozen 2 isn't Pixar, Jackson. All right, Soul, the last one, the newest Pixar movie, right? Raya isn't Pixar, is it? Oh shoot, is Rahab? Or Raya? No, it's not. It's not Pixar. Okay, so Soul is the newest Pixar movie. Hey, you made it, Fire Can, for the very last movie. So, uh, as you can see, we are almost done, and we're talking about Soul. Now, Soul is a very mature movie, um, and is stunning, like visually, conceptually, and yeah, I really enjoy Brave. Um, anyways, Soul, uh, like I said, is just very deep and mature, um, and very has really abstract concepts, but it's just so good. What more should I say about Soul before I put it in S tier? Yeah, I mean, multiple characters find their meaning, their purpose, their calling, you know, help each other out. So that's fun. I'm really curious who what's her name? Is it 11 or 22? I'm curious who she ended up as because there's a whole bunch of theories going on around that. It would be interesting to see what they do with that. But yeah, Soul, S tier. I think it's really similar to Inside Out with these, abstract concepts and uh, yeah. Shasta, by the way, Brave is at the bottom of A tier. I am saying that all of the movies to the left are better than Brave. They are better, but also Brave is better than all of those movies in B tier. So therefore, it is bottom of A. So yeah, there is the Pixar tier list. Anything else we should dispute or talk about? Want to know opinions? Mention not giving Nemo S tier. Nemo is S tier, and Cars 2 is terrible. Cars 2 is the worst one. It's just a show about Mater the entire movie. Up is F tier? Okay. Okay. Yeah, alright. Cars 2 is not good. Up is perfection. Name a single bad thing about Up. Okay, I'm done. Y'all are trolling. Y'all are trolls. Okay. Thanks for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks a ton. And next week we are doing Destiny 1 exotic weapons, I think. Either that or we're doing DreamWorks movies next. Animated DreamWorks movies. Anyways, thanks for sticking around, guys. And until next time, I will talk to you later. Bye.